Welcome back to Chamber of Horrors. I'm Mercy Desdemona, and tonight's picture is Willow Creek. This picture is a found footage film that I actually found is half decent. I do have to say that I give it a 5 out of 10, and it talks about a husband that obsessed with finding Bigfoot. So let's get into it. This film is a found footage film, like I said, and I gotta give it props because found footage, a lot of it is full of cheesy acting and ridiculousness. This one actually did very well for it, even though I do find the husband's obsession with Bigfoot so weird, but I feel like that plays a big role in the storytelling because he was willing to risk pretty much everything to find Bigfoot being real. So the cool thing that you have are the two different dynamics between the husband and wife. Husband, like I said, obsessed with finding Bigfoot. The wife is more of a skeptic, but she's just there to tag along with her old man. I shouldn't say wife because she turns down his proposal because his infatuation with Bigfoot is a little much. And you could tell throughout the film that she's slowly getting annoyed and irritated because he's taking her to all these Bigfoot themed places, talking to all these Bigfoot obsessed people, following tourist trails, stuff like that. It was fun in the beginning, but after a while it's just like, okay, dude, let's go back to reality. But he doesn't. But having the two different dynamics in the characters was really awesome because a lot of times people just put a bunch of people together in a film that are like, oh yeah, we're all on the same page when it comes to found footage and stuff. So at least in some of the films that I've watched, and it gets a little bit tiresome. The cool thing that I think about the wife being the skeptic though too is when they are in the woods and they do see the weird stuff happening and they do hear the weird creatures, she's the one trying to be logical while he's the one getting excited, and he's the one that gets them lost, and he's the one it's completely his dumb assery why they were dragged away at the end by Bigfoot. Just saying. I'm not worrying about spoilers in this one because it's a 2013 film, and as always, just check out the films yourself if they pique your interest. So let's talk about the townspeople that they speak to because they were hilarious and they did such a great job considering that I am a small town person. The small town vibe of this whole thing was spot on with the way that townspeople act. My favorite was the guy singing his song about Bigfoot with his guitar and harmonica. That was awesome. So there's a little bit of humor in there. The people being interviewed act like a regular average person. Okay, yeah, just interview me, ask me stupid questions, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't over the top, which is awesome. Now, they get to a point where they're going into the woods where people back in the day went and found Bigfoot, but then they disappeared. So, of course, the husband's like, we have to go see this. And that's where they get lost, but they are met with a townsperson that's like, dude, you gotta turn around, get the frick away from here and all this stuff. Of course, they didn't listen, and they snuck back there and all this stuff. And, you could tell the wife's getting more and more annoyed. And they eventually end up getting taken away by the Bigfoot creature. But I have friends in real life who are obsessed with finding Bigfoot, and this is one of their favorite movies, so they're like, Mercy, you gotta check it out. So I did. But my thing that gets me is now, I think there's a lot of creatures that we don't know about as humans because we're so wrapped up in our techie world, especially with all the AIs coming out now. So there's probably stuff. But here's my thing. A human who likes to be left alone and is a hermit in the mountainside doesn't like to be bothered. Now, my Bigfoot obsessed friends, if you are camping in the woods and you actually saw a Bigfoot, what exactly would you do? Because I could just think of how aggressive people get when they don't want to be bothered and you're trespassing and stuff. Imagine a freaking creature who clearly doesn't want to be found if it does exist, and all of a sudden these people are just camping out, chilling, trying to film it, paparazzi getting in its face. what makes you think it's not gonna rip your face off versus being all like, oh yes, please come to my cave for a cup of tea and a biscuit? Like, what would you do? Inquiring minds want to know. I asked this to my Bigfoot hunting friends, and they're just like, Mercy, that's actually a good question, and they couldn't answer it. So I'm curious, what would you do? What would you do in that situation? Anyway, guys, give this film a shot. It is worth it. It is a 5 out of 10. I give it a 5 out of 10 just because I'm not into Bigfoot stories. So that is where I kind of just like, okay. And it didn't really keep my attention too much. But overall, if I could take a step back and look at the film, it's actually not that bad. So give it a go and let me know if you do down in the comments down below. If you are the weird kid grown weird adult and you like all things horror, true crime, and odd, consider becoming a member of the Spooky Fam and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget, we will be live April 28th with Dylan Fawn Harvey and Reverie, and we're going to have a good time. And on May 20th, we have our live movie nights together, where Reverie will be joining me, and she's going to be watching Dead Alive for the first time. This is going to be funny. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and stay spooky, stay weird, and don't let Bigfoot rip your face off. Bye.